Turn on your cell phone every day. Check the news of the day. We will find out around the topic of democracy. Too much has happened in the world. On the one hand, the US government, which regards itself as democratic leader, the so-called Global Democracy Summit will be held next week. The Western media corroborated and built momentum, exaggerating that China and other countries as destroyer of the democratic world engage in value diplomacy, fighting against the dissidents under the banner of democracy. On the other hand, on December 5, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a report, The State of Democracy in the United States. It counterattacked the move of the West to stir up the estrangement and confrontation under the banner of democracy. On the surface of the report, it can be said that it is criticizing American democracy, but it's actually criticizing those ugly phenomena and forces that regard themselves as American democracy. It has profoundly exposed that American democracy has not regarded itself as a universal value, but it has hurt itself and the cause of democracy in the world. In recent years, the United States has forcibly exported so-called democracy to other countries. It has caused humanitarian disasters in many countries. The 20-year war in Afghanistan in 2001 made Afghanistan look desolate. In 2003, the United States launched a mandatory attack on Iraq, causing 250,000 deaths and millions of people are homeless. From 2016 to 2019, the US-led coalition bombing directly killed 3,833 people. Half of them are women and children. In contrast, at US, American democracy also triggered a crisis of trust. The freedom of speech of the United States, which has been applauded by the forces of Taiwan independence and Hong Kong chaos, is no longer worthy of the name. It has now served money and party politics, no longer in the service of freedom and truth. These media giants are expanding their business territory while reaching out to American politics by lobbying public relations and campaign contributions to control the political process. The tier of public opinion is more serious. In the face of epidemic, the United States claims to have the richest media resources in the world, but it has become the country with the largest number of confirmed cases and deaths in the world. The reason behind this is that some American politicians for election, putting party interest above national interest, politicizing the epidemic, instead spend time arguing about whether to vaccinate or not, wearing or not wearing a mask, are worthless questions. The eyes of the masses are bright. For the defects of American democracy, the hypocrisy of the United States in exporting democratic values is clearly seen in the global hegemony. For the summit held by the United States next week, in the words of Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Le Yucheng, it is a farce.